A 3,000-year-old secret buried in Elbaf has just been uncovered, and it changes everything we thought we knew about One Piece. One Piece. Chapter 1. 1144 just dropped one of the biggest lore reveals of the final saga. We now know that Iron Giants aren't just relics of the Void Century, but ancient warriors tied to every sun god in history. And the craziest part? Franky isn't just a shipwright. He might be the next Iron Giant destined to fight alongside Luffy in the final war. Welcome back to the channel, One Piece fans. If you thought the Egghead Arc's Iron Giant was a mind-blowing reveal, then brace yourselves because Oda just dropped another history-shattering bombshell. Elbaf has introduced us to a new Iron Giant, one that predates the Void Century by over 3,000 years. And here's the wildest part: this discovery directly connects to Franky. Is he destined to be Luffy's ultimate weapon in the final war? Could he surpass even the legendary Iron Giant, Emmett? Let's dive deep into this shocking revelation and unravel what it means for the future of One Piece. Franky and Ripley come across a 3,000-year-old giant. Ripley showed the Harley to Franky, and Franky was introduced to another Iron Giant. One Piece's Egghead Arc presented fans with an Iron Giant from the Void Century. This Iron Giant had a critical role in the arc, owing largely to his ability to allow the Straw Hat Pirates to leave the island at all. However, by the end of the arc, the Iron Giant had shut down due to the huge explosion of Conqueror's Haki, unleashed by Joy Boy. At the time, fans were told that the Iron Giant was named Emmett and was a close friend of Joy Boy. Unfortunately, the two were separated when Joy Boy died. Now, in One Piece. Chapter 1144, Oda introduces fans to another giant, this time from a time before the Void Century. While Emmett was most likely created 900 years ago, the latest ancient giant dates back 3,000 years. In other words, the ancient Iron Giant that is currently resting in Elbaf is a first-world character. Fans are aware that the world of One Piece has been devastated twice before. The initial devastation occurred following First World. Following Nika's appearance, the Earth God and the Serpent of Hellfire devastated the world. Life returned in the Second World 900 years ago, and this time the ancient kingdom became the center of advancement. 20 kingdoms banded together against it, and a tremendous war ensued, resulting in the downfall of the kingdom and the death of Joy Boy. One Piece is currently in the Third World, yet historical pieces remain. Franky and Ripley discovered the Iron Giant from 3,000 years ago, which appears to be a basis for a scientific center in One Piece chapter 1144, and its significance is evident. What the true importance of the Iron Giant in One Piece is: the Iron Giant is to Nika what Franky is to Luffy. It is now evident that every sun god in One Piece was connected to an Iron Giant. For example, fans know that Emmett was devoted to Joy Boy and was usually by his side. Joy Boy ultimately passed away, but not before fighting alongside Emmett. Emmett even apologized to Joy Boy for not being able to crown him king. Similarly, fans now know that the sun god Nika lived in the First World 3,000 years ago. It appears that the sun god had his own Iron Giant, and this one looks even more terrifying than the one shown in the Egghead storyline. Clearly, this Iron Giant had always been on Nika's side. Fans now understand that Luffy, the third sun god, must have his own Iron Giant, which he has long since gained. Luffy's Iron Giant is actually Franky, a cyborg. Franky has a significant role to play in the future. Just like Joy Boy and Nika had their own Iron Giants, Luffy will have Franky by his side in the final war, hoping to make him king. This suggests Franky will grow significantly in the next arcs. Franky is currently not on the same level as the Iron Giant Emmett, but in the future, he may be fueled by the drums of liberation rather than cola, as Emmett was. This would make Franky the genuine embodiment of the Iron Giant of this period, and unlike the previous two Iron Giants, Franky will not fail. Summary and highlights. Sun gods in One Piece were linked to Iron Giants, just as Emmett was linked to Joy Boy. The new Iron Giant presented in Chapter 1144 is related to an ancient giant from the First World. Franky, Luffy's Iron Giant, is expected to play a key role in the Ultimate War. One Piece is truly entering its most legendary phase yet, and Oda isn't holding back with these lore drops. The connection between the Sun Gods and the Iron Giants is a game changer, and if Franky is truly meant to be Luffy's own Iron Giant, then his role in the final saga is about to be more important than ever. But what do you think? Will Franky unlock a power beyond Cola just like Emmet did? Will he be the key to Luffy's final battle? Let's hear your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss the latest One Piece breakdowns. See you in the next one. Thank you very much for visiting the Mugiwara Review YouTube channel, buddy. We hope you enjoy our review analysis. Don't forget to subscribe and continue joining us on our joyful journey in the world of anime. If you have any wishes, question, or suggestions for our next videos, feel free to express your thoughts on the comments below. Thank you very much for your support, and until we meet again, see you next time, buddy. What is One Piece anime? One Piece is a manga and anime story about a young boy named Monkey D. Luffy who wants to be the king of the pirates in the world. As a child, he eats a devil fruit, a strange plant that makes him able to stretch like rubber. Before the show starts, Luffy goes out into the world for the first time and starts to gather a group of pirates. The main group grows over time, but it starts with Luffy, Nami the Navigator, and a swordsman named Roronoa Zoro. At some point, Luffy and his friends are known as the Straw Hat Pirates, and they go on many exciting adventures across the ocean. One Piece is a lot of fun because it's silly. Luffy goes from island to island around the world in the series. Each island has its own setting and theme. It's a pretty fantastical world full of animals that look like people, live skeletons, and other delightfully strange things. Within moments, the group is in a winter scene, and the next, they are on a tropical island full of giants. The show is full of silly and bright details. For example, Zoro holds a sword in his mouth, a scary military boss wears a cute bulldog hat, and people don't use phones to talk to each other instead. They use special transponder snails that can send and receive messages. Luffy is a carefree person who just wants to eat a tasty meal and laugh at bad jokes. Even though there are some funny parts in the series, a lot of One Piece is about freedom. During his travels, Luffy often takes up guns to help his friends and encourages others to do the same against pirates and government-backed military occupations. The characters in Luffy and his crew get stronger with each fight, which is typical for shonen manga. A lot of the story is about how Luffy beats a problem that seemed impossible to solve and finds some kind of secret power. After each fight, Luffy and his team get stronger and move closer to his main goal, which is to find the One Piece. Why is it called One Piece? The first part of both the manga and the anime shows that Pirate King Ghoul D. Roger is telling the truth about the mythical wealth called the One Piece. One Piece is the name of the show, because Luffy wants to find the One Piece and become the next Pirate King. One of Luffy's main goals in the show is mentioned in the show's title. What is the One Piece? The answer to this question is still one of the biggest secrets in the series. It's been more than 1,000 episodes, and we still don't know what One Piece is. We know that the One Piece is the name of the treasure that Ghoul D. Roger collected on his travels because of details in the manga. We still don't know a lot about the treasure, though. There are a lot of ideas from fans about what the One Piece is, but we still don't know what it is or even if it's real. The One Piece could just be the friends Luffy makes along the way.